Welcome back to SCV. Today, time to bring in Mike Bjorkman. I had some other words.
He was going to try to. He was going to try to do something funny.
Going to keep it to myself. What I was thinking.
So here's what I want to ask you about today, Mike Bjorkman. Liens on homes, because I've been hearing this a lot around the office lately, coming off of a recession. There's a lot of surprise liens that we're finding out about. Tell us everything we need to know about finding out about them.
All right.
And you got 2 minutes.
Everything else, how we fix it, and go.
All right. Well, obviously, in the office, you're right. Every day, it seems like we're selling a home and a lien's popping up, whether it's a standard sale where the homeowner has equity and is selling, or a short sale. You know, obviously, when they don't have equity, when we're negotiating with a bank. Very common these days because we did come out of a pretty good recession, and people have liens on their homes. Most of the time, believe it or not, they have no idea they have the liens. And there's so many different kinds of liens, and people just don't understand. You know, previous credit card debt seems to be the biggest one right now. People charge off their credit cards back in 08, 09. They don't think anything of it. It's gone. Well, they don't realize that the credit card company took them to court and got a judgment. And then they filed for a lien. Or mechanics liens are huge. You know, in 05, a lot of people, you know, even 06, were hiring contractors to do pools, additions. And
Back when they were all rolling.
yeah, they were getting HELOCs and seconds on their house, what we can talk about in a second. But that's very common, mechanics liens. And the most common one I'm finding out about right now is where the general did not pay the sub. The sub put a mechanics lien on the home. The sub eventually got paid. Nobody removes the lien. Things like that. And it's so when it pops up, you might say, okay, we're about ready to close escrow, and these liens pop up. So obviously we do things different. We find, we run the preliminary title reports, and we look for liens before we list them on the market.
Let me ask you a question. Why? This is something that always has confused me because I've seen situations, thankfully it's never happened to me, but I have seen situations where as a person is trying to sell their home, the lien does pop up. They had no idea about it. Is there, are these subcontractors, in the case that the story that you talked about, are they actually getting the liens, and do the homeowners, are they contacted about it, or is there any effort to contact, or is that not even necessary for the homeowner to even be contacted to let them know that a lien is against their property? The
homeowner typically is notified. I mean, but there was so much going on back then that people they were getting late notices and charge-offs. They just threw all that stuff away, and they focused on trying to survive. And then, you know, 5, 6 years later, they're like, hey, everything's great. Let's sell our house and buy a bigger one. We had one the other day. Guy had like 4 traffic tickets on it, liens on the homes, you know, thousands of dollars.
That could go on your home.
Yes, we have all kinds of stuff pop up. Child support liens. I wrote some notes down, some of the biggest ones I've been seeing.
I think the people are watching right now might going, I had no idea.
Right.
Yeah, and it's just the normal people. And HELOCs, here's a big one. So many people went through bankruptcy. They got their HELOCs charged off and their seconds charged off on their home.
Say what a HELOC is.
It's an equity line. It's an equity line on your property. So if you were to buy a pool, you know, you get the lien, the loan from the bank, and you know, you use that money. Well, they get charged off, and they think, oh, they're gone in the bankruptcy. No, those people still have a right to get paid.
That could be a lot of money.
It's huge. So what happens is when they get charged off, those collection companies aren't very negotiable. So if you had a $100,000 HELOC, now they want 50 grand. Now we're trying to sell the home, and all of a sudden the equity's gone. And now we have to negotiate in the seller's behalf to try to get that removed, and it usually costs money. And it's unnecessary. So, you know, what other kinds of loans are there? IRS liens. Most people don't know they have tax liens. So right when we start initially talking to them about selling, we get this prelim. Now we're like, hey, you know, you have a $100,000 tax lien.
Wow.
So getting them removed sometimes a challenge.
And what about a time frame in getting this done? You know, you're looking at a 30-day escrow. You're now all of a sudden looking at 45, 60 days,
right.
Correct?
And that's exactly why we don't let that happen. As soon as I start talking to somebody, we order the preliminary, and we start looking for all the liens. And then that way we have plenty of time to deal with them. And there's some cases where I just say, look, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, unfortunately, until this is handled, you have no equity. And they're like, oh, no.
Yeah. Okay, so is the best way to go through you, or is there another way for people to be able to find
Always
out?
best to go through Mike Bjorkman.
Well, that's no, I know.
The cheapest way, yeah, is have us handle it.
Yeah.
You know, we can turn all our clients in the right direction. One of the things we do, and we keep in touch with our clients, is we run their preliminary tax report and we send it to them. Otherwise, we run a property profile and say, here's everything that you need to know about your house, what's going on right now. And people really appreciate that, and I'll highlight the liens. And you know, they're just like, oh my gosh, how do I get rid of it? So it's a good extra bonus service that we give our clients. But you know, you guys out there, if you are watching and planning on selling your home, even if you're not planning, call us, call Tammy or I, and we can definitely run those reports and get it for free and show you how to get rid of the liens and show you how to negotiate
So if you right
with
now
the credit
want to know
companies.
your home,
Well,
if there's anything there, you just tell us and boom, it's done.
I'm telling you, please.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's
Thank you.
really simple.
Brenda, I'm worried about that. I'm seriously. I mean, the fact, because we had work done on the house, we had a pool put in, and the contractor was a son of a.
There you go. So more than likely, there's a lien on your home
There
from a
might
sub.
very well be. There might be, but that was a long time ago. It was back 2000.
Right, and here's the
2001,
problem.
99, whenever. it was.
That contractor and the sub are completely out of business. They're nowhere to be found, and now we have to work on that. And sometimes I have to have the judge remove the liens because we can't find the people.
How many times you see a lien that's on the property, but then it can be removed? I mean, how easy is that to happen? How often can you do that, or do you have to actually
We can
pay
get
that?
it done almost every time. We can make payment plans to remove the liens. We could have the company transfer the lien to the new home that they're buying. Like the other day, we sold a home. So many people had situations where they let their lawns die or started a remodel project, opened a permit, never finished it, and then they have a notice of abatement on their home, and the city has actually put their liens on there. So now we have to deal with that. You know, simple things like they let your lawn die for too long. You know,
And that can actually turn into a lien on your home.
it is a lien. When the city files that, it's a lien on your home. And the worst part is when
So
it's a
if you
short
don't- If
sale.
you don't mow your lawn and water your lawn, it could end up being a lien on your home from the city.
Right. So we have problems with short sales
How do you
because
like that big brother syndrome there?
maybe you should have watered your lawn. But serious note, short sales are the worst because we're still doing 10, 20% of our business short sales. And these agents, you know, when we're representing the buyer, they're not checking for liens. And the bank wasn't notified that there's a lien on the home. So we negotiated a net that the bank's willing to take, and then they have a lien. And now the buyer's paying for the lien, the seller doesn't have the money. You know, we're running around looking for people to pay off a lien or negotiate it. Now we're doing the other agent's work, and it's really frustrating. And people don't think about it. You don't hear a lot about it. You know, it's always behind the scenes, but it's something that really our clients should know about. And that's, you know, again, it's just another service we provide or some precautions we take to make sure that doesn't happen in our escrows. We don't want to frustrate a buyer, seller, or another agent. You know, and the more time we have, the better.
Can a seller find out? I mean, is it the same report? I'm sorry, not a seller, a buyer. If a buyer were to go with you and be able to find out, are there any liens on this home?
Yeah, before I
'Cause
write
that
an
could
offer-
that could create a huge.
Before I
problem.
write an offer, we'll run a prelim and a property profile and search for liens.
Right.
And then, you know, we can get those like right now.
Yeah. Good.
You know why? Because he does other things other agents can't,
Do
or
or willing to do.
I'm just trying to see if he pays attention to this. Mike Bjorkman does things that other agents can't or won't do.
That's what I said.
Say it again.
Mike Bjorkman does things that other agents can't or won't do or aren't willing to do.
Perfect.
funny.
Perfect. You got anything else for us?
Boom! How about that?
Oh, it's holiday season. That's when we started that last year.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Yes.
I still have people saying I like Mike Boom Boom Bjorkman.
Yeah,
It's so funny. I'll be like walking through Walmart and someone would look at me like, "Hey, Boom Boom Bjorkman," and I'm like, "Do you not see me?"
and that's what you guys started.
Yeah.
So that's it about liens. I mean, we can go into other stuff.
What else do you want to talk about? Maybe we got some time. Should we talk about some more?
We can. I don't know.
Do you have anything else?
Well,
Do you wanna
we
hold
can
off to
we
next
can give a little
week?
market
No, good.
update. You know, most people
Yeah, let's do a market
most
update.
people don't know the market has crashed in the last 90 days.
Ouch.
So every home that we put on the market 90 days ago is seeing major price reductions and sitting on the market. And it's not seasonal because the last couple years we didn't have that. We had people rolling through the holidays. So this year, the homes that we're putting on the market were definitely more price sensitive. What that means is the agent needs to carefully price a home. Most agents just run the comps black and white and go, yeah, 2 sold for that, so we'll put your home on the market for that. Well, if it was 90 days or longer ago when the market was really smoking hot, now we have a problem. Because the seller looks at the comp and say, well, mine should be worth that, or naturally, mine should be worth more because I have 14 karat gold nails in my walls, and now you have an issue. So you have to really carefully price out a home these days if you're truly motivated to sell.
14 karat gold nails in the wall.
They all think they have something like that. You know, everybody's house is better than their neighbor's. So we have to really pay attention. It's a price-sensitive market. Again, the holidays are the best time to sell. Very little competition. You know, the rates are low. Everybody's got time to process.
We're here in the first week of December. Can you still get someone in a home by Christmas?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's a quick
We have
turnaround.
5 clients in the last couple of days that were all moving in before Christmas.
Wow.
And that's when my team just goes, okay, let's go. But we do it. How would you like to tell your buyer, sorry, maybe by New Year's? No, we want them in with their Christmas tree, opening presents. We want to have that elf hanging just a couple days before they close escrow.
The elf.
Right?
That's
Well, we
so
have a
funny.
stupid elf at my house. This morning I woke up and it was sitting there eating Oreos. I'm like,
Well,
now
yeah.
my Oreos are going stale.
Well, we're gonna, okay, we're done with real estate. So the elf thing, I got the whole lecture this last weekend from my daughter about how she has missed out because I never did the elf on the shelf,
There wasn't an elf more than a couple years ago, was there?
right?
What is the elf on the shelf?
So there's an elf. You buy this whole package thing or whatever. You buy an elf, and then every morning when your kids wake up, the elf has gotten into like some form of mischief. So they got into the flour and they left like little elf footprints or whatever. So yeah, Juliet has been telling me that she is emotionally scarred because despite all the wonderful things that I've done for my child, I did not provide the elf on the shelf.
You know the best
You know what you
part
should
that's
do?
come out of this is people are getting very creative, X-rated with these elves, and the emails are flying all around.
Anne Marie, your wife, posted a great one this morning.
she?
posted
Already?
one with
Hold
an
on.
elf like on a toilet, and then with like birth control pills sitting on the toilet, and then half of the
It
pills
wasn't
like,
my
like
house.
going down into the toilet. Like the elf stole the birth control pills.
I honestly
That's
can't
funny.
believe
Can
you just
can
said that on TV.
Can you start
Why?
to? Can you now?
Babe,
That's
if you're
something-
watching,
that's
Can you
something
now?
she has it.
You understand the
I
email
told
that
you
you're
don't
going to get
post
now,
that
right?
stuff.
You understand the email you're about to get, right?
Whatever. I know. And it wasn't Anne didn't do it. She saw it and posted it. It was
but
funny.
still, I tell her, look, we're in the public eye. You can't do that stuff.
No, that was a funny one. That's not a bad one.
To you and me, it's hilarious. To some of our clients, look at she blocked me. I can't even find her on Facebook.
Let's
We're on camera and he's Facebooking.
Well, that freaks me out.
let's send
So I
everybody
think
off
elf-
with their day.
I think she liked it. She didn't post it. She liked it. So then it came up on my
Oh,
feed
good
that she
save.
liked it. I think that's what it was.
Okay.
Right, Emery?
Thanks, Mike Bjorkman, for being on the
get outta
program
here.
today.
Another good one for the YouTube channel.
Exactly.
Poor Mike.
Mike Bjorkman, Home Smart Real Estate. Tammy Edwards, Home Smart Real Estate. We don't say that enough about you.
We don't?
We know. We need to talk more about that.
I'm just a shy girl. I don't self-promote.
Well, talk about it. What do you got? She has like $30 million in escrow right now.
Who would you rather sell your home,
30 million.
him or her?
30 million.
Not your
Well,
commissions.
here's the thing. If I am
Sell the
selling
home.
it, he's selling it because I am on Team Bjorkman.
If you're selling it, does she get a cut?
Not always.
I'm putting you on the spot.
She will
We
now,
need to go out
thanks.
of this. That's going to do it for us
Steven Chris,
today.
are you looking for a partner? You just heard I got 30 million in escrow.
Exactly. Thanks for sharing a part of your day with us. We are thankfully going to be out of this program right now. Have a good rest of your day.
Bye-bye.